going on? Happy Thursday, YouTube. So let's talk about Justin Pearson. That's a name that's been in the news a lot lately. And for those who aren't familiar, he is a black Democrat, state representative out of Tennessee, the 82nd district, if I'm not mistaken, which covers parts of Memphis. Okay, and so let's talk about that. See my buddy go. That's Samson right there. So, all right. So Justin Pearson. Uh, so just to recap a little bit, Justin Pearson, for those that don't know, he was elected into the state House of Representatives back in 2022. Now, a little backstory on that because it's pretty wild if you think about it. His position was previously held by a black woman named Barbara Cooper. Okay, for many years, she died. Okay, may she rest in peace. And however, the election in 2023. Okay, she won. She was still on the ballot, and the people, the people in her district, still voted for her, even though she had passed away. If there is a sign that shows you how uninformed most people are, I want to say black people for the most part, right? Because that is the majority of that district are when it comes to voting. There is no greater example than that. Okay, this woman had passed away, and the people within her district still voted for her when they saw her name on the ballot. How her name was still on the ballot when she was deceased, I think needs to be looked into because, I mean, come on. She had passed away before the election was even being held, okay? And so anyway, when it was discovered that a dead woman was reelected, they had to hold another special election. And this is when Justin Pearson threw his hat in the ring. Now, Justin Pearson, if for those who are familiar with it, he's the young black man with the afro who just recently, him and the rest of the Democrats there in Tennessee, stormed into a congressional hearing. Right? I don't know how that's not an insurrection, trying to stop the voting for redistrict, to draw new districts. Okay. Gerrymandering the districts after the Supreme Court ruled that you can no longer create districts based on race. The Republicans in Tennessee started voting to start redistricting. That's the hard word for me. Their maps, okay, and so the Democrats, including Justin Pearson and many others, stormed their Capitol building pretty much. And protested while the voting was going on. Okay, insurrection. Okay, it's okay when the Democrats do it. It gets swept under the rug. What they did was out of order and out of pocket. And while they were being removed from the room, from the chambers, a very viral clip is going around of Justin Pearson screaming into a Tennessee state trooper's face, calling them boy and MFers and just being very loud, rude, and disrespectful, okay? That's him, okay? He's also the same guy who previously, before they had a protest, he's an activist, he's an agitator, okay? And because of his antics and another black Democrat representative, they got kicked out of their Congress, of the House of Representatives there in Tennessee, and then he was reinstated, reelected, and so now he's still in that position. Okay, so now that they're gerrymandering the district of Memphis out, they're going to break it up into 3 districts instead of just having it be one predominant district, black district. This is what all the hubbub is about and the uproar. Okay, so Justin Pearson, he recently was at a church over the weekend, just showing out, being performative. He's on his, the Democratic Party. I have to give it to him. He's smart in the sense that he knows if he plays the role of riling up black people and calling everybody racist and you know, that whole spiel that the Democratic Party will back him. He'll definitely get the black people there in Memphis behind him, but he does nothing for his district, okay? And so while all that was going on, a 17-year-old in Memphis, a female, while taking pre-prom pictures, she was murdered. He doesn't mention anything about this sister, this beautiful black girl, young girl, losing her life there in Memphis. And if you know anything about Memphis, Tennessee, it's literally probably about one of the worst cities in the United States. You know, LeBron James recently went viral for saying that it was one of the worst places to have to go play an NBA game because Memphis is a trash hole, okay? Memphis is a prime example of a majority black city, a majority black district. They have black mayors, black police chief. You know, it's all about the pro-blacks, right, that the Democrats gave to the black people, but it's a complete shithole, you know, excuse my French, but that's what it is, right? And it's a prime example of showing how democratic leadership fails the black community, you know, and instead of a guy, a congressman or a state representative like a Justin Pearson, you know, he's pro-black now with his afro and calling everybody racist and America racist and all that. You know, he's following the Democrat line, right, and tap dancing for the same political party that enslaved black America, right? It's amazing. But so instead of addressing the real issues within Memphis, because he is a representative of certain parts of Memphis, instead of addressing the real issues of crime and poverty and drugs and bad educational system and all that, their whole agenda is just to hate Trump and say all white people are racist and so on, right? That's what they do, you know. And unfortunately, most black people still fall for the same 60s era rhetoric of, you know, that the white man has their foot on their neck and can't do anything. You know, it's pitiful, right? And so I just want to talk about that, highlight that. I don't know how many who may come across this is familiar with it. I know most of you will be familiar with Jasmine Crockett. I call her Miss Phony, but he is the male version of a Jasmine Crockett. You know, before Justin Pearson had the afro and before he was elected state representative, he was clean cut, well spoken, and actually talked with some sense, you know. And but now that he's in power, he is a Democratic Party flunky. He goes out of his way to toe the line when it comes to the Democrat rhetoric of a socialist movement, okay, Marxist movement. All white people are bad, all black people are oppressed, okay, and so that's their whole agenda. They don't offer no real solutions for the district that he's elected to represent at all, right? And so I just want to highlight that and point that out as an example of black Democrats, right, who are elected into these offices and don't do anything for the districts that they represent, right? And hopefully, you know, Justin Pearson, you know, with his antics as of late, he's actually done more harm than good, because there are a lot of black people who see through that, okay? They see how performative it is. They see how he said nothing about the girl that lost her life in Memphis. You know, Memphis is a city where Donald Trump sent in the National Guard to try to get a handle on the crime there, right? It's the murder capital of the world. It is probably literally one of the worst cities you can go to in this great country of ours, right, in the United States. So thank God, like I said once again, for the Supreme Court ruling, because now they're going to break the district of Memphis up into 3 districts, and so now it won't be a predominantly black district, okay? And it's funny because, see, that's the thing. The Republican Party is once again having to come to the rescue of the black community. right? Even though a large majority part of the black community don't see it that way, but we're gonna bring them along, kicking and screaming. It's for their own good, okay? So with this new redistricting, gerrymandering that the Republicans are doing in Tennessee, is actually going to do more good for Memphis than harm. Of course, most black people don't see it, especially when they have a Democrat shields, Democrat flunkies, a Democratic overseer like a Justin Pearson holding rallies, you know, with his afro and cosplaying like a Martin Luther King and all that, right? It's laughable when you see it, but it's very effective amongst the black community, you know, when you rile up the emotions, right? And that's one of the tragedies about the black community, is that they're so easily finessed emotionally, right? And if you can get them to be mad and angry and feel the hate, then they'll run and vote in Satan himself, right? It's just the truth. All right, I'll leave it there. Oh, look at this beautiful sun shining today. It's finally it's supposed to be in the 60s. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it for a change. And it'll probably be cold and snowing tomorrow. But for today, it's sunny and warm. So we're going to take advantage of it, right? So thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Like and share. Until next time.